Welcome back everyone. Hi, if you're new, I'm Tori, and today I'm going to share with you some of my reading plans for April. This is definitely not everything. I do have some books in the background that I'm still making my way through that are not going to be a part of this video, but these are some of my top priorities for the month and just books I'm really looking forward to. The last couple of months have not been the greatest reading months I've had. I'm really hopeful that April is going to finally be that month where I'm not quite in a reading funk, but just the reading month that I hope will stop me from falling into a reading funk. I have a lot of faith in this stack of books right here. So I cannot wait to share these with you. I have an exciting buddy read I'm doing this month, and then also two books that fit a very specific mood that I'm in at the moment. So it's gonna be a fun reading month. I'm claiming it now. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get into it. So first, let's kick things off with The Lies of Lamora by Lynch. This is the book I'm buddy reading with Ty from Ty's Book Corner. I love Ty's channel. If you are not already following her, definitely make sure you go do that. She loves fantasy, she reads sci-fi, she loves thrillers. And I just really appreciate always hearing her opinion about these books. She has great taste in books and just has a really great personality as well. So I think if you tend to like some of the books that I read, you'll definitely find some common ground with Ty's channel as well. So definitely go check her out. But The Lies of Lamora, this is a book that I read years ago. And at the end of 2022, when I was talking about my goals for this year and the series I wanted to read, I was like, oh, I haven't read The Lies of Lamora since like 2017, 2018. I read this book back in 2016. So it has been some years, and it's been so long that quite honestly, I think reading this with Ty this month is just gonna feel like the first time for me all over again, because I do remember kind of like overarching things about the plot. And of course I remember our main character, but there are just so many little details, some subplots that I just have zero memory of. So I cannot wait to dive back into this book and just see how I feel about it all these years later. When I did read it back in 2016, I loved this book, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna hold up for me rereading it again all these years later. But even still, I can't wait to see how I feel about the story and the world and everything today. So if you guys are unfamiliar with The Lies of Lamora, we are following our main character, Lamora, and he is part of this group of thieves called the Gentleman Bastards. And that's one thing I do remember, is just the setting of this is so vivid. And the Gentleman Bastards, they traverse a lot of the underground areas of this ancient city, Camor. That's kind of one thing that sticks out in my mind a lot. But the blurb on this says that Locke steals from the rich, but the poor never see a penny, because he keeps it all for himself and his band of gentleman bastards. I remember at the time I really enjoyed the found family dynamic in this story. So again, just can't wait to see how I feel about this book so many years later, and of course cannot wait to chat about it with Ty throughout the month. Next is one I've had on my shelf for a while, but this is the one I'm talking about fits a very particular mood that I'm in right now, and that is The Bright and Breaking Sea. This is a seafaring like pirate novel. I don't know why, but I'm really in the mood for this right now. Just adventure, being out on the ocean. It's really speaking to me right now. And another book I have for my reading plans also, you'll see, will fit into that vibe as well. But again, this is a book that I've been curious about for so long, and it's just been sitting back there. I think this is the first in either a duology or a full trilogy, but we're following our main character, Kit Brightling, and she is a female captain in the Queen's fleet. And the Queen sends Kit out on this mission, but she tells Kit that she needs to partner with this guy, I think his name is, Ryan Grant, and he's the Viscount of Queenscliff. So it just sounds like the two of them are not gonna get along, but are really gonna have to trust each other, rely on each other on this dangerous mission that the Queen sends them on. So this just sounds adventurous and fun, and definitely what I need this month. Next is another book that I'm using as kind of my shake up for the month. Actually, one of you recommended, just because the last couple of months have been so meh, that I branch out and just try something not in the SFF realm for the month. And to be honest, I don't have that many books on my shelf that are not sci-fi and fantasy, and the ones that I do have, I'm definitely not in the mood for right now, but there is one that is really calling to me right now, and that is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a book that I see everywhere. I see it in the bookstores. It doesn't even matter which bookstore I go into. I got this from my local bookstore, and it's just sitting there, just like right there on the shelf. I have seen this all over TikTok. So this is another one I feel like that I just cannot escape, but has always sounded really intriguing to me. I do really love adult mysteries and thrillers, but there's something about YA mysteries that just sound really fun to me. But in this, we're following our main character, Avery, and I think she's about to graduate from high school, or she's trying to survive high school. Everything changes for her though when this billionaire dies and he leaves Avery basically his entire fortune. And she's like, what? Who is this person? But in order to claim this inheritance, Avery has to move into this billionaire's estate and live amongst the family members who have been disinherited and who obviously do not trust her. But it sounds like the billionaire was really into mysteries and riddles and puzzles, and his grandsons think that Avery could just be another puzzle that they're meant to solve. It does remind me a lot of the movie Knives Out, which I loved. So hopefully I get some similar vibes in there, but either way, I'm really looking forward to reading this. Next is one I cannot wait to get back into, and that is Wayward, which is book 2 in the Wayward Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch. Pines was so good, you guys. I keep saying it, but I read Pines way back in January now. Just still, I feel so like mind blown. I was just hooked from the first few pages of that story. In Pines, we're following our main character, Ethan Burke, as he is just trying to unravel the mystery of this strange town of Wayward Pines in Idaho. And he's sent there on a mission to find out what happened to 2 other federal agents, but he just keeps getting wrapped up in all of these mysteries and just weird things going on in that town. I'm telling you, just mystery after mystery just keeps piling up in that story. And it all, for me at least, led to a really, really explosive conclusion, revelation, whatever you want to call it. It was so good. So I do not want to let that much more time pass before I end up getting into Wayward. So this is also top priority for the month of April. And then next, this is another one that fits my little mood that I'm in right now, and that is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty, also known as S.A. Chakraborty, who is the author of the David Bond trilogy. This sounds so good. It's feeding my seafaring soul at the moment. I did read the sample of this on my Kindle before I bought it, and so it actually sounds like Amina's story is being told to us by some other character who, you know, I guess we'll figure out as the story goes on. But we have our main character, Amina, and she used to be this really amazing pirate, but now she's retired, but she's pulled back into this life of piracy. It sounds like when, a mother of a former crewman approaches her to retrieve her comrade's kidnapped daughter, and that just gets her back into the swing of things. And it just, again, it's in the title. It just sounds so adventurous and fun, and definitely what I think I need for this month. So cannot wait to get into this. This is a relatively new fantasy release. It just came out in February. So let me know what you guys thought about this if you did have a chance to pick it up. No spoilers, of course. But yeah, can't wait to get to this. And then last but not least is my current read right now, which is completely different from all of these. If these are fun and adventurous, this one is just nothing but death and destruction and darkness, and that is Dark Age by Pierce Brown. I'm currently vlogging this book behind the scenes, making some really steady progress, but my God, this book is excellent. I don't know what to say about it just yet. I love everything that is going on in this. At this point, it's just war and betrayal and messy politics, and I'm living for it at the moment. The characters in this are phenomenal, and I have really come to love every single character's POV that we've gotten. There's a character POV we get in here who was a main character in the original trilogy. I love this character anyway, so I'm happy to finally be in their head a little bit more in this book. But even in part 1, it's Daryl's POV split with another character as they are just in battle, going back and forth, and it is all so good. The writing, the prose is so good in this. In these intense moments of battle, the prose is so smooth and brutal and tense, and you just I really can't explain it. I just feel like I'm gonna keep gushing about this book. You just feel every single moment. There have been some major betrayals happening already. I am side-eyeing quite literally everybody right now. I don't trust anybody. We have just gotten some really incredible moments, and I mentioned this in my vlog. It feels like Pierce Brown is giving like a face to the enemy, and I don't like them, of course, in the way that I love Daryl and the Howlers and, you know, our crew, but you really understand character motivations. These characters have so much depth. You understand their motivations. They think they're justified in their actions. And in one perspective, especially in part 1, we really get into the camaraderie that the opposition has and these familial relationships and familial histories that they have with each other. And just to see how that works on, you know, in war on their side, it's so good. It's so good. I am truly having the time of my life reading this book, despite it just being so emotionally devastating. This is the way to kick off a reading month. I knew I would love this, and it is giving me everything that I want and more. I know it's still extremely early, you guys, but depending on what Lightbringer does in July, you already know this is top of the year, no competition. I mean, it's a little competition, but like, come on. This is incredible. Red Rising just means so much to me. This is seriously one of the best series I've ever read in my life. So I cannot wait to share my final thoughts with you guys in my vlog and then at the end of the month in this wrap up. But it is all just, it's perfect. So that is it for me, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know what your reading plans look like for the month of April. Let me know if you have read any of these and what your thoughts are. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.